have to remind you what happened 3 and 4 steps before that. He made Mirko worry about the takedown. He made Mirko think he's going to grapple or wrestle or use that black belt jiu-jitsu. And Jay, whenever you talk about the old Roy Nelson, all I hear and all I interpret is the Roy Nelson that would bank the shots and then come with the strikes.
And take everybody down back in the day, put him in the crucifix. Roy is just a bear to deal with when he is on top of you. That's the last place Mirko Krokop wants to be. Mirko Krokop's game, Josh, is all about getting that range and trying to tee off to those kicks.
Yeah, obviously his kicks are his weapon, okay, but the other thing, too, he poses a threat is that sometimes when guys wrestle against him, they have to wrestle against him because he's a southpaw. It's a lot harder for them to make the switch in their mind for the wrestling, so Roy may have an issue with that. But with Mirko, it's not just the power in his kicks, it's just his ability, his strength, and things like that to stop the takedown. Believe it or not, he's got good wrestling, so hard to take down. We've seen it for years. I believe tonight he's going to circle using that kick, using his straight left, and you're going to see it's going to make a real hard fight for Roy Nelson.
Right. Well, he's been around for a long time. Krokop. Now it is time for him to go down into the Bellator cage against the one and only Roy Nelson.
All right, set for this heavyweight contest. Mirko Krokop at the age of 44, making his Bellator MMA debut, riding a 9-fight win streak in a rematch against Roy Nelson, who's trying to snap a 2-fight losing streak.
And now, ready to make his way to the cage, Roy Big Country Nelson.
At the age of 42, Big Country Roy Nelson walking to the Bellator MMA cage for this, his 40th professional fight, and again trying to get back on the winning track. Lost both fights last year, majority decision loss to Matt Mitrione at Bellator 194 in the heavyweight Grand Prix opening round, and then the knockout loss to Sergey Karatanov in the closing seconds of the first round of their matchup. But again, it's been a long time, October 2011, when Nelson beat Mirko Krokop inside the octagon. That was then, this is now.
Absolutely, look at, no doubt, Roy's one of the great characters in MMA. You gotta love the way he approaches fights. He knows that he is going against a better fighter tonight than he faced back in 2011. So Roy's got to be the better fighter tonight also.
Nelson can celebrate the fact that he was the last person to stop Mirko Krokop.
And now, to make his way to the cage, Mirko Krokop.
44-year-old Mirko Krokop reached the apex of his legendary career under the Pride Fighting Championships banner in his last fight for Pride FC. He won the Openweight Grand Prix, defeating Josh Barnett, but earlier that night recorded the 2006 Knockout of the Year when he knocked out Vanderlei Silva with his patented left head kick. 6 words say it all. Right kick hospital, left kick cemetery. The one and only Mirko Krokop is here in Bellator MMA.
Well, you look at what he has accomplished in his fighting career. Let's not only think of MMA, but he's the only person that has ever won the K1 Grand Prix. He won the Pride Grand Prix. He won the Rising Grand Prix. He is an incredible fighter. And the one thing about him that's incredible is he will tell you he is happier now fighting at age 44 than he was 10 years ago at 34. He wants to be here. He says, every time I step in the cage, I think, what am I doing? And as soon as I'm in there fighting, I think, I love what I do.
Had mixed success during his UFC tenure, but again comes back to America for the first time since losing to Roy Nelson at UFC 137 in October of 2011, and he is riding a 9-fight win streak. His last 20 wins have come via knockout or submission, and he's not won a fight by decision since 2005 when he beat Josh Barnett at Pride 30. So, stage is set for another heavyweight rematch. Let's go to the tail of the tape.
Obviously, both guys are older fighters in their 40s, but as heavyweights, that's not a bad thing. Look at that reach. It's identical. Weight's just a little bit different.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents tonight's co-main event scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. And now, live on the zone, we introduce the blue corner at 6 foot, weighing in 259 and 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 23 wins, 16 defeats, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Roy Big Country Nelson. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6'2", weighing in 234 and 1/2 pounds, with pride, K1, and rising titles to his credit. Tonight, he makes his Bellator debut, bringing 37 professional victories, along with 11 defeats and 2 draws. Hailing from Zagreb, Croatia, introducing Mirko. In charge of the action, Leon Roberts.
Gentlemen, you both know the rules, you both know what I expect. Protect yourselves at all times, follow my instruction at all times. If I ask for a break, I expect a good, clean break. Fight hard, fight fair, fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Back to your corners.
Leon Roberts, third man in the ring. Mirko Krokop has 23 victories via first-round knockout. Roy Nelson has 10 wins via first-round knockout.
Okay, first round, you ready to fight? You ready to fight? Bring it on.
The bell and round one. Mirko Krokop in the red gloves, Roy Nelson in the blue, and immediately Roy Nelson comes out, flashing the jab.
You're going to see Roy Nelson trying to back Mirko up. One of the things that has come out in fighting Mirko is you do not want to let him come forward. If you can back him up, it slows his progression, and it slows his use of his leg kicks.
Of course, Mirko Krokop, a southpaw. Nelson wisely circling to his left to avoid that trademark left head kick. Nelson using that right hand as a decoy to close the distance.
Exactly what he's doing. But, you know, the one thing is, Mirko is not a guy that is easy to take down, be it by going after his legs or going for upper body control. He is an incredibly strong man. You can see the strength in his legs. You can see the strength in his back. He is not an easy guy to take down, and Roy's going to have to work hard to get it there.
Krokop involved in one of the most celebrated heavyweight title fights in MMA history, August 2005, when he fought Fedor Emelianenko for the Pride Heavyweight Championship, and Emelianenko came up with the winning blueprint.
No doubt about it. That was the time. You know, Mirko was a killer in Pride. He was going through wrecking everyone. He lost a couple of fights by making mistakes. He learned from those mistakes and then was killing everybody. Fedor was the first one that said you have to make him go backwards. He did that. He got the win, and he wrote the blueprint that a lot of guys have used to try to beat Mirko Krokop.
Krokop earlier landed a nice left uppercut on the inside. And Nelson now, Krokop using that overhook.
And what you're seeing is, you know, these couple of times that Roy has got inside, he's pressing. You've seen Mirko physically, strength-wise, just move him off, but you're not going to be able to do that throughout the whole fight. So Roy needs to keep doing what he's doing. Keep pressing, keep putting that pressure on him, and eventually that strength will start to wane. forget that Roy Nelson has an outstanding ground game. He's a good wrestler.
I think he forgets sometimes.
Exactly, but his jiu-jitsu is phenomenal, especially when we talk about he is a top positional jiu-jitsu guy. When he's on top, his ability to create pressures, create situations, it is remarkable how good he is.
Left uppercut on the inside by Krokop.
That was a hard shot. That shows you that Roy Nelson still has that chin.
2 minutes left in the first round. Roy Nelson with one of the most durable chins in MMA history.
You can't take too many of those, though, Morrow. They will add up fast.
Another left uppercut on the inside by Krokop.
Nice elbow coming across. This is where you break it up. Needs to now establish, go back to pushing Krokop backwards.
That's good. Keep him up.
Krokop and Nelson jockeying for position along the fence. Krokop turning the tables, slashing elbow strike across the face of Nelson. Minute left in the opening round. Nelson just misses with a right uppercut. Mirko Krokop misses with a left uppercut on the inside.
Mirko's getting that distance when he's getting inside. He's the one that's landing the better shots.
There's a liver kick by Krokop.
Roy dropping down, trying to get into the legs of Mirko. Not an easy thing to do.
Especially after absorbing that left kick to the body. 30 seconds left in this first round.
Mirko should take that leg, bring it to the outside of Roy. There you go, outside of Roy's leg. That's going to help him with his balance point.
Krokop again lands a left uppercut on the inside. Headed to round number 2.
Turn, gentlemen. Duel. Stay up. Stay up. Duel. Right, over here, Roy. Over there, I'm close. Breathe. Breathe. 10 seconds. Hey. One good shot that you had. You're baiting. You're doing everything. You're locking him up on your bait, but you're not following through. You had 2 punches. You had 2 times there where you punched him on a good combo, but you stopped on 2 punches. And we want 3, 4 into that shot. We don't want 2 punches. Yes. He's standing here like this.
Here comes uppercut. You see Roy trying to land it, but here comes Krokop. His misses. But there's one that comes in here, and it lands solid. And it just shows you what type of chin Roy Nelson has to be able to stay with that kind of shot. Beautiful left kick to the body. That hurt. No doubt about it. Doesn't matter how much you have around the midsection. That gets through.
Go. Thank you. Gentlemen, second round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Bring it up.
Bell and round at number 2. How did you score the first round on your unofficial scorecard?
You know, it's an interesting round, and Roy was the one that dictated the pace and location of the fight, but it was Mirko that landed the bigger strikes, and I give that 10-9 to Mirko based upon who landed the biggest strikes.
Nelson coming forward with a wild right hand. Wide looping right. Krokop, you know, he's got that left kick in his chamber. They're fainting with it.
What you're seeing is there's a little bit of a dichotomy going here because Roy is not coming forward as much. But he's got Mirko moving towards his right hand, which is a good thing for Roy.
Krokop backs Nelson into the cage. Nelson pummeling. Krokop trying to create some separation. Drives a left knee up the middle. Left uppercut to the inside. And there's an elbow strike over the top by Krokop.
Beautifully thrown elbow
by Nelson.
Right now, when it gets into this phone booth fighting range that you're seeing, Krokop is the one that's landing the heavier strikes.
Nasty knee and a nasty left up. Another left uppercut by Krokop.
Well, he's got to move. He cannot take that type of shot.
Nice defense here exhibited by Krokop. Nelson trying to change levels, trying to find a way to bring Krokop down because Krokop is letting Nelson know he still has some power, but Nelson also letting Krokop know I can still take a shot.
Oh, there's no doubt Roy Nelson can take a shot. He is a tough man, and he's got a granite for a chin.
Oh, there's a body kick by Nelson.
Nice job by Roy Nelson with the kick. He's trying to back Krokop up still, but it's starting to slow down, and that could be a problem for him.
Left kick by Krokop to the body. Inside, low kick to the lead leg by Krokop. There's that patented head kick blocked by Nelson. Straight left hand down the middle by Krokop.
And a good job by Roy Nelson when he blocked that. He got both hands over to take the power off that kick.
Left hand by Krokop gets Nelson's attention. Just past the midpoint of the round in the fight.
When you're Mirko Krokop and you're hitting a guy with that much power and he just keeps walking forward, you gotta, what is in this guy's chin?
Krokop stuffing another takedown attempt by Nelson.
Roy needs to be careful of the knees in here.
Final 2 minutes of the second round. Krokop, left uppercut. That's been one of his most effective punches of the fight. Practice there by Nelson on the exit. Nelson again looking for the takedown and then connects with Krokop. And remember again another legendary fight in Pride when Kevin Randleman faked the takedown, landed that left hook upstairs, led to the upset victory over Krokop in the 2004 Pride Heavyweight Grand Prix. And now Nelson finding some success with his striking.
I can tell you that strike, that got Mirko's attention. That's why he was backing off. Roy heard him with it. Just can he take advantage of it?
Inside kick by Krokop. Nelson, this is the back kick, and again, Nelson trying for the takedown, securing the left leg. Krokop has 5 submission wins, including a guillotine choke victory.
Roy needs to be careful. His head is in position for that guillotine, but Mirko's not even thinking about it. He's thinking about just defending against the takedown.
Under a minute left in the second round, and Krokop backs Nelson back into the fence. And Krokop looking to create separation, but Nelson beats him to the punch with a knee, but another left uppercut on the inside by Krokop.
And you're looking, what are the shots that are landing with the most power? That uppercut is finding its mark over and over again.
Half a minute left in the round. Nelson has that single collar tie, but then just allows the break, and Krokop inside low kick to the lead leg, lead left hand. Oh, but there's a right uppercut on the inside. That grazed the chin of Krokop. Oh, a body shot by Nelson. Left kick by Krokop.
Beautiful knee inside by Mirko Krokop. In these clinch positions, he's been landing some very good shots. Nice knee in return by Roy Nelson. But the quality of the shots, look at that elbow inside. You'll see Roy try to return one, but it's the quality of the shots that is giving Mirko the edge in this fight. Both guys are fighting good. It's close. It's just little things that are changing the course of this fight. Boom, you see it, that right there. Roy Nelson bringing both arms. That's a smart fighter. That's a guy that's blocking with one arm and bringing the other one over to take that power off of that kick.
Still to come, our much-anticipated main event, a grudge match between Paul Daly and the undefeated Michael Page. The winner advances to the semifinals of the Welterweight World Grand Prix as the third and final round begins here in this heavyweight rematch. Mirko in the red gloves, Roy Nelson in the blue gloves. Nelson won their first meeting in 2011. And how do you have it going into the third round on your unofficial scorecard?
Right now, I got Mirko up in this fight, but this is the round that Roy Nelson ended when they did first fight back in 2011. It was round 3. We'll see if he can do the same.
Krokop continues to attack Nelson's lead leg as they come together. Nelson launches a right uppercut. Inside, low kick again by Krokop. Now he's along the fence. Nelson looking for the takedown. Well read by Krokop. Short right uppercut on the inside. Another one by Nelson.
That second one landed with a lot more power. That was a good shot by Roy.
Krokop breathing through his mouth, his open mouth, and again, both guys in their 40s here, looking for their respective last stands in mixed martial arts. Nelson trying to snap a 2-fight losing streak. Mirko Krokop wants to be victorious in his Bellator MMA debut. A minute and a half on here in the final frame.
Well, you see Roy is still going with that game plan, and he's trying to drive Mirko back, get into the fence, going for the takedown. He just hasn't been successful with that takedown.
Krokop stuffs it yet again.
And now, when you got Krokop being sweaty, Roy being tired, it's going to be a lot harder to get that takedown unless he hurts him with the hands.
Double left, and then Nelson misses with the long distance right uppercut, and again just trying to take Krokop down, but Krokop, great defense with the underhook.
Digs that underhook, now keeps Roy at a distance, can't get his hands together on anything. This is a good position right now that Mirko Krokop is in.
Punch it out of there! Punch it out of there!
See Mirko trying to shake those arms out. They're getting heavy, and they're getting heavy from what Roy Nelson is doing in those shots, and he's digging those underhooks and holding that weight. Lactic acid starting to build up.
Midway through the final round, Krokop moving to his left. Nelson using some punches to try to, again, he closes the distance but unable to secure the takedown.
Yeah, and that just goes to the athlete that Mirko Krokop is and how good he has gotten with his defensive wrestling. He is not an easy man to take to the ground.
Krokop told us that his biggest career achievements were winning belts in K1, kickboxing, and in Pride Fighting Championships.
Watch your heads, Jim. Watch your
Clash of the heads right there.
Krokop stumbling forward.
That was Roy Nelson trying to snap him down. That was a smart move by Roy. Almost worked.
And it still made Krokop stumble forward, but it didn't work as we got a minute and a half left in this fight. Krokop continues to move to his left. Nelson standing in front of him, double jab, but then Krokop comes back with a jab. That's a wild looping left hand by Krokop.
And you can see Krokop is tired, and it's from all of that stopping of what Roy Nelson is bringing pressure, and he's using a lot of strength to stop what Roy's doing.
And yet he continues to stop Roy Nelson's takedown attempts until that one. So Mirko Krokop forced to work from his back in the final minute of the fight.
Final minute. This is the problem. Roy's tired. He finally gets him where he wants to have him. Can he do something from this position with very little time left?
Seconds left in this heavyweight rematch between Mirko Krokop and Roy Nelson. Nelson with the wide base, Krokop in open guard. second heavyweight rematch of the night. We are once again going to the judges' scorecards.
Come on. Time, gentlemen. Time.
After 15 minutes, how do you score the fight, John?
You know, it's so close. There's no doubt in my mind that Roy Nelson wins that third round. The second round absolutely goes to Crow Cop. It all depends on who the judges gave that first round to. This is the third round here. You see Roy coming in, little shot. He hits Crow Cop. Shot off the top of the head, but it was his ability to finally get in. That was just a bump with his head. But that shot right there, you can see that rattled Crow Cop. That's why he's backing off. Here's your takedown. Finally gets into him, gets that leg. When he finally gets the leg, he gets his ability to get his hips towards him, gets him up, and brings him down. Nice takedown by Roy Nelson.
So will Roy Nelson snap his two-fight losing streak, or will Mirko Crow Cop extend his win streak to 10 fights in his first appearance in Bellator MMA? Michael C. Williams has the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Your first judge, Sal D'Amato, scores it 30-27, while judges Dave Peabody and Dave Torelli both see the fight exactly the same, 29-28. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Mirko Crow Cop.
Mirko Crow Cop picks up the unanimous decision win. Now 1-1 with Roy Nelson, who can't believe the outcome. John McCarthy standing by with Mr. Crow Cop.
I'm here with your winner, Mirko Crow Cop. Mirko, that was a very tough fight for both of you. You were both doing what you needed to do to win. Roy, being a strong wrestler, kept driving you into the fence. You kept on defending that takedown. How was it facing this guy for the second time?
Well, Roy is tough, like always. You know, he's strong, hard puncher. It was, I would say, more mentally hard for me than physically. You know, I was tired, of course, at the third round, like he was. But mentally, it's always hard to go in a rematch when you lost the first fight.
How are you feeling now at the age of 44, coming in this cage and fighting? Are you feeling better now than you did in the past fighting MMA?
It's hard to say, you know. When you're getting older, you are just older, you know. But I feel good. That's most important.
Well, you look very strong in here. Great win against a great opponent. Congratulations on your Bellator debut. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Mirko Crow Cop.
Mirko Crow Cop now 7-0 in rematches as we get back to Jay and the crew.
All right, thanks, Mauro. Hey, well, the time has come for our